Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin tonight with some breaking news. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. It was shortly before 2:30 this afternoon that authorities swarmed the downtown Fargo area on a report of an armed robbery at the Howard Johnson Hotel.
A man reportedly robbed the hotel and ran from police. He then fired at least one shot from a handgun at an officer. Let's go live now to Valley News Team's Macy Enger, who's at the scene. So, Macy, what can you tell us?
Mike and Stephanie, we're at the corner of 4th Street and 6th Avenue North, where Fargo police say they caught up to the man believed to have robbed the Howard Johnson Inn by gunpoint. Now, you can see behind me, police are still investigating this scene. We've counted at least 8 cop cars here, plus the North Dakota BCI and the Fargo police incident truck. Now, Mike and Steph, this all started at the Howard Johnson Inn. As we said, a man entered the hotel, and the hotel owner tells us he demanded money. Now, the employees gave him what they had, believed to be under $200. They say the man shot his weapon at the hotel, but they're still unsure of why that is. Now, police say the man left on foot, and that's where he came to this former gas station. And that's where officers and the suspect shot their weapons, and that's where police say he was shot by officers. Now, he was taken to Sanford, and he is in custody. Police haven't released more information at this point.
As the officers approached the suspect fired several rounds from a handgun. The officers exchanged fire, and it appears as though the suspect was hit by one of our officers' rounds.
Now, as we said, Mike and Steph, officers are still investigating this case. They haven't released how many officers were involved in the actual shooting, if the man's description or identity, and how many shots were fired in the case. Stephanie, Mike, back to you.
Macy, all right, thank you. Now, the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation will take over a part of this case because Fargo officers were involved here.
We have more breaking news tonight coming out of Cass County, this time out of Cass County Court. Suspended West Fargo teacher Aaron Canoodles could stand trial again on 2 of the 5 charges originally filed against him. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop has been sifting through a Cass County judge's 35-page ruling and joins us with the details. Ashley?
Good evening. Aaron Canoodles was originally accused of having sexual relations with a 17-year-old student back in 2009. Today, the judge said in this unique case, the state can retry Canoodles on 2 of the 5 counts that did not have verdicts. The not guilty verdicts do stand for the other 3 counts. It will be up to the prosecution whether to pursue a new trial against Canoodles. If so, the new jury trial is expected to start on June 23rd. Canoodles' attorney Bob Hoy says this situation has been tough on Aaron and his family. He adds he hopes the state will do the right thing and leave things alone. In today's ruling, the judge did say multiple times that this was a unique case, and that was due to during the deliberations in the original trial when a juror was sent to the hospital and later admitted she was a victim of sexual assault. The juror was the lone holdout for a guilty verdict. Mike?
All right, thanks. Canoodles' defense asked the court to acquit him on all charges, claiming a second trial would be double jeopardy, a clause that prevents people from being retried for the same crime. To our other major news today, this time coming out of West Fargo, multiple agencies are investigating an incident that occurred on Monday at an unlicensed daycare. Now, a months-old child was found unresponsive.
According to police, daycare providers immediately started CPR. The child was then taken to Essentia Health and transported to Minneapolis with internal injuries. Now, there are concerns the child could die. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric joins us now with much more on this. Bradford?
Mike, Stephanie, the child at the center of all this remains in a Twin Cities hospital on life support. The daycare where it happened, right here behind me. When I knocked on the door earlier today, a woman answered and said, quote, "Contact my lawyer," and then closed the door in my face. I contacted the lawyer, Mark Western, who told me, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the young man and his family at this very difficult time." The woman who closed the door on me, Darcy Anderson. Western would not get into her past criminal history, but there's multiple felonies and misdemeanors in it, including a charge for assault.
The extent of the injuries appeared to be internal injuries that may have resulted from shaken baby or a baby being dropped.
Shaken baby syndrome, according to Sanford Health, the most common cause of brain injury during the first 2 years of life. It can cause brain damage, seizures, and death. But that something like this could happen is inconceivable to supporters. Indira commented on our Facebook page, "I know the daycare provider personally, and she is a phenomenal provider and is the most caring person." Melanie, however, commented, "This is my cousin's nephew, not Sid's. Blunt force trauma to the head." As I said before, multiple agencies are investigating what happened here. The child lives with its family in Fargo, so Fargo police are involved. The child comes to daycare here in West Fargo, so West Fargo PD are involved. And then Child and Youth Services are also investigating what happened here as well. Reporting live in West Fargo, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Bradford, thank you. Now stay with Valley News Live for the latest on this story. And police ask, if anyone knows more information on this, please contact them right away. Well, to our weather now, a bit of change out there today. Very warm and actually pretty sunny, but we're seeing some clouds now. Let's head over to Hutch Johnson to see, are we in for anything tonight, Hutch?
Well, as we approach the later evening hours, all of this green we see on the radar is generally moving in our direction. So yes, we may have some showers. Bring the umbrella with you. But where you need to be concerned about rain right now is in northeastern Stutsman County, from Jamestown up through the Pingree area. Carrington, the showers are exiting your area now. Then things will be a little drier. Wimbledon, Revere, and Eccleston in the path of some showers that'll be soaking showers briefly anyways. Lemoore, the showers are exiting towards Fort Ransom at this time, moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Temperatures falling from the 70s as we head through the next couple of hours here. It looks like quiet conditions through the early evening. Can't rule out some later evening showers here in Fargo-Moorhead, but a much better chance as we go through the weekend. I'll detail that in a few moments.
A little bit of everything, it seems.
Indeed.
All right. Thank you, Hutch.
A second-degree murder charge has been added in the case of a deadly fight at a VFW club in Thief River Falls. Sean Brandt was originally charged with second-degree manslaughter. Now the murder charge has been added to the case. Brandt allegedly pushed Bradley Friesen in the parking lot. Friesen hit his head on the ground and later died with a brain injury. As Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us, the defense attorney in this case says the charges are overblown.
It happened December 17th in the parking lot of the VFW in downtown Thief River Falls. The club manager tells me he wasn't here the night all this happened, but he says the story he got from bar patrons is that Bradley Friesen was inside the club drinking when he was asked to leave. He was escorted outside by 3 men, including Sean Brandt, where shoves were exchanged and Friesen fell, striking his head on the pavement. The manager says they were having problems with Bradley Friesen inside the bar before he was escorted out.
I guess problems, we were starting a fight, or I guess he was acting like a jerk in here, and they cut him off and everything. That's what I heard from my staff.
All right, and then escorted out, and that's when all this happened.
Yes, happened outside.
Prosecutor Al Regala says after thinking about the initial manslaughter charge against Sean Brandt, he decided to include the second-degree murder charge since Friesen died. Regala says he'll let a jury decide if the charge is warranted. However, Bruce Rivers, the attorney for Sean Brandt, told me in a phone interview the murder charge is overblown. Rivers says Friesen lunged at Brandt, and Brandt simply pushed him back. Rivers says Friesen's buddies wanted to put him in the car and take him home. It was Brandt who called the ambulance. At this point, it appears a jury will decide the case unless a plea agreement is reached on the lesser charge of manslaughter against Sean Brandt. In Thief River Falls, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
The defense attorney, Bruce Rivers, also says that he believes the prosecutor added the murder charge in an effort to settle the case on the lesser manslaughter charge. The second-degree manslaughter charge carries a maximum of 10 years in prison. The second-degree murder charge carries a maximum 40-year sentence.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of meth is off the streets, and 3 people are in custody, all for a significant drug trafficking operation in the area. Michael Garner, along with Jada Ball and Robert Howard, were all arrested following a massive investigation across several Minnesota and North Dakota counties. State and local authorities and the DEA helped with the bust. Search warrants uncovered about 2.5 pounds of meth, which has an estimated street value just under $250,000. Authorities say the drugs were being sold here locally.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, a nice night for cruising or just appreciating these great cars of old. How you can take part.
And a few sprinkles moving through our western counties. I'll have details on that as well as your outlook as we approach the weekend. That's next.